this week's Waypoint, we have Snowdown. Riot finds CLG $10,000 and details on both the LCS and Challenger scene. What's up, guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly League of Legends recap. I'm your host, Kat Andrusco. It is Snowdown on Summoner's Rift right now as Riot gets into the holiday spirit just in time for Christmas. This year's Snowdown event includes the Legend of the Poro King featured game mode, as well as a bunch of goodies. Dress up as Elsa and let the world know that the cold never bothered you anyway with Winter Wonder Orianna. Play a champion that everyone's forgotten about with Snow Day Malzahar. Or pick up what might well be one of the most hilarious skins in the game with Poro Rider Sejuani. The Legend of the Poro King game mode takes place on the Howling Abyss, and participating is the only way to earn some of this year's special summoner icons. During the event, you can also pick up old Snowdown legacy skins, as well as Poro-friendly wards and icons. And if you're in the giving mood this holiday season, you can buy your friends a mystery chest and roll the dice. The entire Snowdown event will be ending on January 6th, so make sure you jump in and check it out. Next up, Riot is experimenting with a very interesting change on the PvE right now. Check this out. It's a gate in the middle of each base wall, and there are 4 of them on the map. You can go back and forth between your own gate, but you can't use the enemy's gate at all. It makes it easier to get into the jungle, and it gives teams more options when they're under siege. Maybe you can pull off some crazy pincer movement instead of taking the fight head-on like you'd normally be forced to. The new Baron buff already adds an insane amount of power to sieging, so this might give defenders some needed counterplay. This is a really hard one to judge on paper. It's definitely going to require some testing, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last we hear of these gates. It's a new season, or at least a preseason, and Lee Sin is dominating in the jungle. Riot Scruffy made some comments about the current state of Lee Sin and Riot's plans for him. TLDR champion diversity is part of what makes League interesting, and if any champion is far and away the best at his role, they'll be looked at. A rework isn't in the cards in the near future, and judging by the community's reaction last time Riot took a serious look at Lee Sin, I don't see that ever happening. But we can expect buffs and nerfs as needed to keep the game balanced. The thread itself was titled, "Why do Reds ignore every Lee Sin thread?" So yeah. Lee Sin falls into a very small elite group of champions who are defined by their kit rather than their numbers. Lee Sin, Orianna, and Thresh off the top of my head stand out above the rest. Those champions are always going to be strong because their kits are so well designed, and they bring a ton of utility to their teams. Those champs have all been top-tier picks since release, despite nerfs and changing metas. I think it's going to stay that way. The next season of the LCS will be kicking off on January 22nd with a new 10-team format. We're still waiting for Riot to reveal how the additional teams will change the schedule, as well as the number of games each team plays. The LCS has been a huge success, but there's definitely room for improvement, and now is the time to make big changes. The biggest issue with the LCS is how unimportant the spring split is. Number 1 or bottom tier, it doesn't make a difference when it comes to qualifying for Worlds in the summer. I'm also really interested to see who Riot brings in to replace Joe and Demon in the EU LCS as casters. Joe and Demon have moved on to new things at ESL, but they leave big shoes behind for Riot to fill. The EU LCS, for whatever reason, has always had lower viewership than the NC LCS. Losing 2 top-tier veteran casters is not going to help. As well as the LCS, the Challenger series will be seeing major changes in 2015. To better mirror the LCS and prepare amateur players for the professional scene, the format is completely changing. It'll be a 6-team league with 8 weeks of competition leading up to playoffs at the end of spring and summer, just like the LCS. And to encourage fans to watch, the Challenger series will now have its own dedicated broadcast on Wednesdays, instead of airing before or after the LCS. Qualifiers for the Spring Challenger Series will begin on January 20th, with the season proper kicking off February 17th. Follow the link below for more details on qualification if you think your team has what it takes. Bad news for the CLG esports organization, as they have been fined $10,000 by Riot. That is by far the biggest fine Riot has handed out to date. The fine not only comes for poaching players from a rival organization, Dignitas, but for lying about it when questioned. Propositioning players who are under contract with another LCS team breaks the rules all LCS teams must agree to. To their credit, CLG have since come forward to apologize and agree with the fine. They also won't be able to officially use their new coach, Skara, formerly of Dignitas, for 3 weeks of the LCS. Of course, he can still coach the team 99% of the time. He just won't be able to join them on stage when it matters most, which might hurt them. We have an awesome deal for you guys today from Audible.com. Audible has hundreds of thousands of audiobooks to choose from, and right now, just by going to audible.com/gamebreaker, you're going to receive a free audiobook and a free 30-day trial. Whether you're into sci-fi, fantasy, or even murder mysteries, Audible has something for everyone, like this fantastic World of Warcraft novel by Christie Golden, War Crimes. Take a listen.
It looks too peaceful and beautiful to be the prison of someone so horrible, Lady Jaina Proudmoore mused as she approached the Temple of the White Tiger. She, the Blue Dragon Calicos, Ranger General Verisa Windrunner, and King Varian Rin rode in a cart drawn by a steady-footed yak, whose fluffy fur indicated the beast had been freshly bathed.
And by supporting our sponsors, you are directly helping make this show happen each and every week. That URL again is audible.com/gamebreaker. So head on over right now and start your free trial today. That does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. For more video game news and content, head on over to gamebreaker.tv. Be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends news. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and comment below and help us reach more people. And if you want more League of Legends content, recaps, and updates, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LOL Nation TV. I'm Kat Andrusco, and you can follow me on Twitter @KatAndrusco. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next Waypoint.
Game Breaker TV.